Hello, all, and welcome to Sports Wired. This is VJ for you, coming live from India to talk about Chelsea Football Club, of course, and the saga that we have in the recent 24 hours. We have reported that Chelsea are looking to sign Jules Kounde, and the deal was quite moving in the right direction. But from what we understand in the last few hours of this particular deal, that it might be swayed away to the favor of Barcelona. But it's all speculation at this point in time. But what a drama that it is playing out right now here at Chelsea Football Club and the transfer community. We all know that this is something that has been brewing in the past as well for the last 1 year. Of course, we saw Chelsea's interest with Barcelona, Jules Kounde, and this has been ever growing since then. But FC Barcelona as well, at some point in time, got their interest towards Jules Kounde, and they want Jules Kounde to be playing in that back centre back position, and that is the reason why they keep intercepting our deal. Not just this particular deal, they have intercepted Chelsea's Rafinha deal as well. There is a lot of confusions going on in the Twitter community. Of course, here we are right now gathered to discuss about this confusion, and we'll take it one step at a time, go through the entire timeline to understand what exactly is happening in the Twitter community amongst the sports journalists, and how far this reporting is true, and what can we take out from this reporting, and when will Jules Kounde saga in terms of transfer get over, because it's high time that Chelsea sign a defensive player and move on to the next potential targets. It's just 2 more weeks before our first Premier League game kicks off as well. And I, for one, would like to have a very good squad to start off with once we start this particular season. And for that to become a reality, having someone like Jules Kounde and maybe a midfield player and a striker after these signings that we've done right now is very integral. And the way that we are right now moving, we might not be able to make that target, and that's what is a bit concerning and worrying for me, guys. We are right now live across three platforms: YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. If you guys are watching us from any of these platforms, please press that like button. Comment on the live chat as well if the audio is clear, and if you guys are watching us live, please leave a comment as well. It would be good to hear from you guys on the comment section as well, as to what you think about this Jules Kounde deal and the situation, because we all know we wanted Jules Kounde, and we all want Jules Kounde, right, for Chelsea, but not at the expense of Chelsea losing the entire transfer market just for this one player. Yeah, if at all Barcelona wants to have Jules Kounde, yeah, just let them go ahead, because we've got alternatives. Let's probably look at Guardiola. Yeah, not saying Guardiola is going to be as effective as Jules Kounde, but what options do we have? Why do we have to keep looking at only Jules Kounde? And if he's not going to come to us, what sense does it make for us to actually wait and be tired of this particular deal? All right, guys. Now getting to the topic. Um, First of all, this is the timeline that we have on this Jules Kounde situation. Yeah, from the moment I'm taking it back 24 hours. We heard from Fabrizio Romano while we were streaming yesterday during the same duration, during the same timing, that the Jules Kounde deal is almost complete, and Chelsea are leading the race. Barcelona have never even bid to this particular person, Jules Kounde. So it's going to be imminent, is what we heard from Fabrizio through a tweet as well as his YouTube video as well. Yeah, this is what we know. And it was not just from Fabrizio Romano. Even before Fabrizio reported it, we had a confirmation from Matlaw, Jacob Steinberg, Adam Newson, all Chelsea specific journalists, even Nizar Kansela at one point. All of these guys actually confirmed that the Jules Kounde deal towards Chelsea Football Club is almost done. It's just the formalities that are pending. Yeah. So we all went to bed, happily, expecting Jules Kounde to arrive in the next 24 to 48 hours. But then this happened. Yeah, this thing happened where um, There's this person, sports journalist Gerard Romero, who's more focused on Barcelona and Spanish transfers, and he came out. A lot of people in the English community as well call him to be the mouthpiece for Barcelona. Rightly so at some point in time, because any information that is coming from Barcelona seems to be coming from Gerard Romero. It's Laporta talking on one side, on the official side of things, but the unofficial side of things, where it's more on the interest of players and everything, it's coming from this particular sports journalist, Gerard Romero. So Gerard Romero, in his Twitch channel, later, after it was midnight, he went on to Twitch. He actually said that Barcelona are still interested in Jules Kounde, and there has been a confirmation in terms of the bid. They've got the leadership approval for putting in the bid for Jules Kounde. I'm actually going to be sharing my screen right now to show you guys what the timeline was, to understand better on this particular scenario. And it's all playing out very, very, quickly, and it's very hard to keep track of it. We're trying to bring you guys the best as well, but this is what we have, guys. This is exactly what we have. All right. Yeah, we heard from Gerard Romero. This was 5 hours before, right? In the last few hours, John Laporta and Edward Romeo, who's the economic VP of FC Barcelona, gave the final okay to Matteo Alemany to send an offer to Sevilla for Kounde. This is what I was talking about. This is where it all started. Gerard Romero reporting through his Twitch channel that the leadership of Barcelona have agreed to, or had actually basically said that we are okay to send in an offer to Sevilla for Jules Kounde. Yeah. Um, so that's the first thing that was happening. And then came this tweet where it's more focused on, yeah, this is where people got pissed off. Yeah. Where he says Jules Kounde is a FC Barcelona player. Agreement is reached. He basically confirms that the agreement itself is reached even before the bid went in, because he did not tell any specifics about the bid in itself. And he came out and says Jules Kounde is an FC Barcelona player. Agreement is reached. I don't know what agreement he is talking about, because there are two agreements here. It could be the agreement between the player and the club, which is Barcelona in this case, or it could be between the two clubs, Sevilla and Barcelona. I'm not sure which club or which agreement he's talking about. Either way, it's very skeptical in terms of the source. And then you've got Rashad Rahman as well, coming to us saying that the first reports in Spain coming out, Jules Kounde, following Romero's news, MD and Marsa both are saying they have received from Sevilla sources so far that neither contacts have been made between Barcelona and Sevilla for a formal bid. Now, taking this a bit backwards, once Romero says that, you know what, FC Barcelona is going in, yeah, for this particular person, Jules Kounde, we heard from Simon Phillips, yeah, Ben Jacobs, both of them coming out and saying that there is no bid from FC Barcelona yet. Sevilla people are confirming the same to us, where FC Barcelona is yet to approach Sevilla on a bid officially. That brings us a bit of a confidence, right? Because Sevilla right now has not heard anything from Barcelona, even if Barcelona journalists are saying Barcelona has put in a bid. Yeah, that gives us a bit of a confidence. Then Sevilla journalists came out and confirmed the same as well, saying that there is no official talks between Sevilla and Barcelona as much as what we guys know. That gave a bit of a confidence to Chelsea fans. Then once again comes in Gerard Romero saying that a bid is agreed. And there was this person in between as well coming in and saying that I'll tell you his name as well. This is um, I think it was Gil. Gil is again a tier one journalist, of course. He is a Spanish journalist, Jordi Gil. He comes out and says Barcelona made a 45 million euro offer to Sevilla for Jules Kounde, the signing can be completed in the next few hours. Now, tell me one thing. Yeah, we all know for a matter of fact that FC Barcelona is putting in a 45 million bid, according to this journalist, and Chelsea have already put in a bid for 55 million pound. Yeah, sorry, euros. So which is bigger? Obviously, 55 is bigger, which means Sevilla is probably going to be focusing more on the Chelsea bid and not the FC Barcelona bid. If Sevilla is not focusing on the FC Barcelona bid, how come this statement is true? The signing can be completed in the next few hours. How are you saying the signing can be completed in the next few hours if your bid is 10 million short of your opponent's bid? I have no idea. This is what happened. Yeah, 45 million is what they were saying. Again, people did not want to believe this source as well, because no one actually knew what was going on in the Barcelona camp. Yeah, and then I heard about this one as well. This is from Gerard Romero once again. He says FC Barcelona, Jorge Mendes, and Manchester City have agreed on a price of less than 80 million euros for Bernardo Silva. This again pissed me off because right now they're not just moving on for Chelsea players, also for Manchester City players, and I don't know where the fund is coming for them. Yeah, 40% of their media rights is already sold to Six Sense, from what we hear, right? And how can they get so many funds to sign these many players? God only knows. But this is the confusion that is going on in the last few hours for between Jules Kounde and FC Barcelona and Chelsea Football Club. Guys, please let me know on the comment section. Is it really worth for us to do all this for Jules Kounde? I know he's a top talent, top talent, but is it worth for us to do this? Yeah, still wait for Jules Kounde to get something out of the player, because at this point in time I'm just basically pissed off. I just want someone to fill that defense. If even if it is Kimpembe, I'm still fine with it, because we've got other talents, or other areas that we have to fill players for, and the next Premier League game is 2 weeks away, and I'd like my team to be trained before that. If you're delaying even in the signings, you're probably not going to meet that timeline. Before we talk any further on these topics, I'd like to read out a few chats from the comment section. First of all, thank you so much all for joining in the chat. Please like, comment on the channel. Of course, definitely helps in the growth of the channel. I hope we are bringing in quality content for you as well, not just today. On this Kounde topic, we'll also be talking about the Arsenal versus Chelsea game. It's a preview, of course. We will be doing that. Along with that, we have another stream in the next few hours, which is going to be between Chelsea and Arsenal, a live watch along with Prasanna Balakrishnan, PB Talks. We will be doing a live watch along in this channel. So watch out and stay tuned for that particular video to come out as well. This is Pradeep Janathan with his comments saying that reports coming from multiple sources are just so tiring and frustrating. Absolutely true. Multiple sources, and we do not know at this point in time who we should be believing to. It could be Barcelona journalists who are lying at this point in time. It could be Chelsea journalists who are not in the know but still acting as if they know things. Yeah, it could be either one of them lying at this point in time. But towards the end, there would be one party that could definitely succeed, and the other party will have a devastating impact in terms of the credibility of the source. Ben Jacobs says, look at his last thread. Okay, let me look at Ben Jacobs's thread. Prasanna Balakrishnan here. He wants me to take a look at Ben Jacobs's thread. Hopefully that provides us a bit of a clarity. All right, where are you, Ben? Okay, so it's basically a thread, a complete thread. Um, Let me read this out to you guys. If you guys cannot, see what is on the screen. So Ben goes on to say, my understanding on Jules Kounde is that there has been an unexpected twist. Yeah, Barcelona have U-turned from Friday morning, but are yet to table an official bid. This was posted 13 minutes ago, guys. So we can probably relate this is the latest information that Ben is talking about. Yeah, but according to him, an official bid is yet not submitted to the Sevilla board. Chelsea felt race was won yesterday. They still have full agreement with Sevilla. Barca don't just yet. So, according to him, there has been a U-turn. Chelsea were the top contenders for this particular race, but then Barcelona has just swooped in. Yeah. Continuing on the same thread, he goes on to say Sevilla's position has always been Barca must formally bid fast and match Chelsea's offer. So basically, they want Barca to at least match Chelsea's offer, otherwise, this deal is not going through. Barcelona believe they can bid 40 to 45 million euros and get closer, not match, yeah, just getting closer to Chelsea's overall fee with add-ons. Remains to be seen whether Sevilla will accept. Again, no formal offer has yet been made. So basically, they are saying that what we can actually provide to Sevilla is on the range of 40 to 45 million euros, which is nowhere close to what Chelsea has submitted an official bid, which is around 55 million euros. So logically speaking and financially speaking as well, Sevilla would obviously prefer Chelsea at this point in time because Chelsea's bid is 10 million more than that of what Barcelona can basically offer, right? So Barcelona are not ready to match Chelsea's bid, even though they are trying to get in some add ons. Yeah. And I don't know if Sevilla would be ready to take add ons because, as we all know, add ons are more focused on the player's individual contribution rather than that being a revenue for the club in itself. So Barcelona are not ready for the 55 million bid, but they are ready to spend around 40 to 45 million euros, is what we understand from this particular thread. He goes on to say Barcelona had given up hope, but Xavi pushed hard for the bid. Barca also always felt Kounde U-turning and traveling to Portugal to train with Sevilla bought them some time. As previously reported, this was not what Chelsea wanted. Again, Kunde was supposed to attend the medical that was provided, that was scheduled by Chelsea if deals go through properly. But then Kunde decided to take a U-turn. Yeah, we all know that. Kunde decided to take a U-turn to travel with Sevilla team to Portugal to play in the pre-match friendly. But the assumption in the amongst the Chelsea fan base was that he wanted to get playing minutes and wanted to be really fit before getting onto the medical that was arranged by Chelsea. This is what we were assuming. Maybe Kounde just wanted to get himself fit. But according to what Ben Jacobs says, this is probably a move by Kounde to facilitate or give more additional time for Barcelona to put in their bid, which actually makes sense. If the player is interested more in signing for Barcelona, obviously he needs to give them a bit of a leeway in terms of the dates, and that is exactly the reason why he wanted to go with the Sevilla team to pre-match game. Again, this is a speculation, and Ben Jacobs is the one speculating here. The next, point on the thread from Ben Jacobs is that situation right now, Chelsea have a deal with Sevilla, awaiting only formalities and formal sign off. They've agreed preferential personal terms with Kounde. A reminder, players can and do agree term with multiple clubs. CFC can do no more. Yesterday, they felt the transfer was imminent. So what he says is that whatever can be done from the Chelsea side of things, which is agreeing a personal term with the club, with the player, and also signing a deal with the club, maybe not a formal deal, but then having an agreement with the club, is basically what is basically what Chelsea can do, and they've done all that they can do. They've actually had a deal with Sevilla on the table. They've actually submitted a formal proposal and a bid to Sevilla, and they've also agreed personal terms with the player Jules Kounde himself. So everything that can be done from the Chelsea end is basically done. And they were expecting the transfer to be imminent because that is usually what happens. Yeah. But then here comes the twist. Now, the next point in the thread says that Barcelona have finally responded, though, even if Sevilla deny active negotiations. The club have been in contact. Obviously, if Barca now agree a fee, it will all then come down to the player's choice. That's where Barca feel they have an advantage, although Kounde is open to both the moves. This is a good point, but I think we have to branch out this particular point into two segments and probably talk about it. The first one being Barca have finally responded, though even if Sevilla deny active negotiations. Now, my question is that if Barcelona are actively negotiating with Sevilla, why in the world would Sevilla have to actually hide the fact that Barcelona are negotiating with Sevilla at this point in time? Why do they have to hide that fact that Barcelona have been doing an approach to Sevilla? Because it doesn't make any sense. Ideally, Sevilla should come out to the press and say Barcelona have reached out to us and we are right now in active negotiations with them, which would in turn turn as an advantage to them because right now, then Chelsea will actually look at it. Okay, fine, Barcelona are coming in. Maybe we should improve our first bid and then go with a higher price, which can increase the value of Kounde, which is exactly what Sevilla wanted. So there is no basically a background as to why Sevilla should be denying an active negotiation that is happening with Barcelona at this point in time. That's my question. Why would Sevilla want to deny an active negotiation between Barcelona and Sevilla? And the second part of it, the clubs have been in contact. Obviously, Barcelona now agree a fee. It will all come down to the player's choice. Now, it comes down to the player's choice is what they're saying. But tell me one thing, there is a bit of a contradiction here. If Barcelona are not ready to pay the 50 million or 55 million that was actually scheduled by or actually submitted by Chelsea, why would first of all Sevilla agree to a lower fee and ask the player to choose? Yeah, it should be the choice of the club to identify a higher bid and accept a higher bid and then send the player that way, because we are not talking about 1 or 2 million difference here. We're talking almost a 10 million difference in terms of the revenue. Why would a club like Sevilla, again, this is a record signing and a record transfer for a club like Sevilla. This is probably their highest transfer fee as well. Why would they lose out on a 10 million fee just so that Jules Kounde can be happy in the club that he goes forward to? Obviously it doesn't make any sense, right? Who cares? Like who from Sevilla cares wherever Kounde ends up, as long as they get 10 million profit on this particular deal? That's my question. Two questions here. Why would Sevilla keep the active negotiations silent and not known to the press? And the second one is, um, what is the advantage that Sevilla will be getting if they accept a fee, a lower fee from Barcelona than of Chelsea? The next point, of course, is the pursuit of Kounde has really been an incredible saga. With Rafinha, Barcelona made their hand pretty clear. Challenge was simply about agreeing terms with Leeds, but with Kounde, it's a whole new level of games, smoke screens, and late U-turns. Nothing much to talk about here because it's all um, Ben Jacobs' personal opinion on that particular point. The next one is credit to Gerard Romero for being the first to report Barca's hijack. He is right that things at Barca changed in the past few hours, but no Barca deal with Sevilla is done just yet. I'm sure you're all sick of hearing it, but a big 24 hours ahead. That's the reality as of now. Ben Jacobs, um, kudos to him for actually accrediting Gerard Romero here, saying that he was the first one to report the hijack effort from Barcelona. The reason why I call this a hijack effort is because this is not a done deal yet. So I'm not going to go ahead and say this is a Barca hijack already, as much as what Ben Jacobs has reported here. This is just an effort to hijack the deal of Chelsea, because the deal can still come to Chelsea if Barcelona is not able to submit an official bid, which, according to Ben Jacobs, is not being done yet. The next point is, I also have a feeling the comments on this thread could be tasty, be respectful, or at least witty. Nothing much on that particular line, but this is a comprehensive timeline statement from Ben Jacobs for people who had missed out on the Twitter fights between both the sports journalists and also between both the club fans. It definitely is an interesting saga, and it has been interesting for the last 24 hours, and another interesting 24 hours is awaiting us. I'm excited to see which side Jules Kounde would end up. More or less, I'm more excited to see which journalist has got everything right here. Moving on, thank you first of all, PB Talks Prasanna, to actually let us know on this thread. It was a very informative thread. Hopefully, you guys as well, were following me as I read through the entire thread. But this is the situation right now that we are seeing. This is Bobby as well, who's commenting, saying that give Sevilla Monday to agree the deal, put on the table, make it public to Barcelona so they know they don't need to bid anymore, then walk away. If it's not met, rather pay a bit more for Wesley Fofana. Yeah, a good target as well, a good alternate to Wesley Fofana. But I'm not sure if the clubs are that eloquent enough to pull off, a deadline bid for Barcelona at this point in time. We saw that Leeds tried to do it, but then it really did not materialize. And I think the same would happen here as well. I'm not sure if Sevilla is in a strong point in terms of negotiating with Barcelona, where they're going to be saying, you know what, this is the deadline that we have for Jules Kounde, which could be Monday. If you're not accepting, or if you're not putting in a bid in the table on Monday, the player goes to Chelsea. It's as simple as that. I'm not sure if Sevilla um, have that formidability to say that. Sevilla flatly deny any bid from Barcelona. This is exactly my problem. Why would they want to deny it? Because a bidding war would only increase the value of the player, which would increase the revenue for Sevilla anytime. PB Talk says Chelsea put 55 million pound, Barca 45 million. So pounds will be lesser than 45. Yeah, conversion could be a bit tricky here, but still I think Chelsea's bid is a lot higher, and which would in turn just not make this deal legible at all. Yeah, look at Ben Jacobs' latest tweet, and I think this is what you were also talking about. Why are we not giving a deadline? Are so down to earth club. I'm not sure if we can, or we are in the position to give a deadline, because we are the person, or we are the club who is in need of the player, and that's probably the reason why we are not actually giving a deadline. Because it's more of a deadline that should be coming from Sevilla, and right, like I earlier mentioned as well, maybe Sevilla are not strong enough to pull or give a deadline date to a club like Barcelona. Daniel Crane says it makes no sense for Sevilla to accept Barca's bid because the sell-on clause, because of the sell-on clause. But let's be clear, Barca haven't officially bid yet. 38 million bid won't get accepted. If it is 38 million, maybe it won't get accepted, is what he is saying. Rebecca says make it make sense, Sportswire. I mean, I'm trying to make it more sense because this is something, it's very difficult for us to comprehend as well, given the hijack, and the sports journalists having reporting things alternatively every single hour. It's becoming difficult at this point in time. No, it's in euros, it's about 20 million difference. Barca bid is around 38 million mark, which is again different from that of what, I mean, which is lesser than that of Chelsea bid, and that's the problem right now. We should remember what Chelsea did to us last year should give Kounde, what Sevilla did to us last year should give Kounde and Sevilla a deadline. Chelsea would not know if Barca are working behind the scene. But tell me one thing, Pradeep. If at all we were to give a deadline to Sevilla, what is to say that they should be adhering to that particular deadline? Why should they actually adhere to that deadline? What advantage that does Chelsea give by actually giving them a deadline? Maybe the offer expires, and Jules Kounde directly goes to Barcelona, and we actually look for an alternative target. At this point in time, looking for an alternative target is also a bit difficult because I'm not sure if the Chelsea scouting team has done enough background work to have an alternative target, a comprehensive idea or an understanding of a new player that we can bring in as a backup, if at all this Jules Kounde deal doesn't go through. Because this is something that a lot of Chelsea fans were expecting, and I would expect the Chelsea scouting system to have professional proper backup, and that's how we can show that we are a professional team who have backup options if not the Kounde situation goes through. But we all know how our Chelsea scouting system operate. As much as we want it to be more professional and more active in the transfer market, in terms of signing, I am not so confident on the Chelsea scouting system, which is a bit painful for me to say, but that is the truth that we have to live with at this point in time. Daniel Crane says we also have to remember if Barca do bid, we can just activate Kounde release clause and push Barca out of the game. But what is to say if Barca would not activate that clause? right? Yeah, I understand they do not have that financial power to right now bid, or right now attract a release clause sort of a deal. But what is to say if they won't do it? Because the way that they have been moving in this particular transfer window, it's almost denying every single information that we had on Barcelona. People call that call the club Broccolona and all of that, but then they seem to be pulling off money some from anywhere, right? And just out of thin air, and that is how powerful they have been operating in this particular transfer window. So what is to say even they will not be able to do this even before Chelsea even thinks of it? That's the concern that I have as well, guys. We've got 50 people right now watching the stream. Please press that like button if you are hearing what we are talking here. Obviously, we are trying to understand and comprehend more on this particular deal, and also we will be talking about the Chelsea Arsenal excuse me, guys. Chelsea Arsenal game, which is scheduled to happen in the next 24 hours. We will be doing a watch along as well, along with Prasanna Balakrishnan tomorrow, for this particular game. I hope Chelsea pull off a victory here. Will we be playing Koulibaly? Will we be playing Sterling? Which position is Sterling going to be playing? Is all something that we will be discussing very soon. But then I just wanted to round it off on this Jules Kounde topic. I'm going to be also putting the stream link on the chat window for you guys to come in and have your say. If you guys are around and you want to join in and have your say, that's the stream link for you guys. We are live across three platforms: Facebook, YouTube, as well as Twitter. You guys can catch us live in all these three platforms. And I hope there is a like button in all these three platforms. Please do press that like button if you are hearing, um, you know, if you like what you're hearing. Daniel Crane also says Barca won't pay a release clause. They will try to save as much money as they can. Why they keep asking for players to wait and offer less fees? Interesting point that you brought up here. I was going through the Barcelona financial situation, though it is a financial situation that is very difficult to comprehend. I'm trying my level best to understand, whatever is being communicated to us, because you can go to any football club website and pull off their account statement. Yeah, you can go to any football club website and pull off their account statement for the quarterly account statement, the yearly account statement. If you want to just pull out the Chelsea account statement for the previous year, all that you have to do is go to Chelsea website and pull off the account statement. You can still do that. Even for Real Madrid, you can do that. Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United, all of their account statement are available online if you actually wanted to actually take a look at it. Yeah. But one club where I was not able to even find the account statement was Barcelona. It's all very secretive with Barcelona. The account statement is not something that is visible for us as well. So whatever is the information that they want the media guys to propaganda for us as fans, is what we are able to hear and comprehend from that, and try to make a more make sense out of it. Yeah. On those lines, when they talk about the second economic lever right now that just got activated yesterday, according to the socialites of Barcelona, is that this particular lever helps them to add 15 more percentage on their media rights, which was already 25 percentage sold to the Six Sense media group. Now the 40 percentage media group, media rights, right? 25 percentage, which was already part of the first economic lever, sold to Six Sense, a private company, which holds the media right as of now, for Barcelona. 25 percentage, right? And now another 15 percentage additional is part of the second economic lever. Altogether, it makes 40 percentage of Barcelona's media rights being sold to a private media company, which is Six Sense. Yeah. And out of this 15 percentage that is being sold, they are able to generate close to 200 million um, in budget alone, as immediate cash inflow. And this cash inflow can only be used, this is a point that I'm a bit confused, and I'm not sure why it has to be that way, but it is being reported that this particular 200 million can be only used for player transfers, and playing the and getting the operational budget allocated for the club, not in paying the wages for the already existing players. I'm not sure why this is being reported this way and what legal reasons are there for this particular implications. Maybe the UEFA regulations prevent them from doing that. I'm not so sure. But then we are joined here by a very special guest here, who's going to be doing also the watch along with us tomorrow. But now today we've got him as well. This is Prasanna Balakrishnan from PB Talks in here, joining us straight from the US, of course. Another fellow Indian who is working out of the US, but then who is quite active on all these social media platforms on both cricket and football. Please check his channel out as well if you guys have time. But then let's hear about his talks on the Jules Kounde situation while we slowly digress and move to the Arsenal topic next. The preview game, of course, next. But then over to you, Prasanna. What do you think about this particular situation on Jules Kounde? Last 24 hours has been hectic, hectic.
You missed one thing. You just said fellow Indian. You missed out fellow Tamilan.
Yeah, fellow Tamilan as well. I'm not sure how many people can relate here, but then yeah, fellow Tamilan.
Yeah, so you've seen this Kandaswamy movie, right? Tamil movie.
Yeah.
In one scene when Vadivel's sells coconuts outside a temple, and that guy is bargaining with him. 10 ruwa, 6 ruwa. It's literally that situation. No?
Yeah, that's exactly the same, right? I mean, so for people not from Tamil Nadu who are finding it hard to relate to it, it's almost like a bargaining battle where if a coconut costs 10 rupees, and then the person who's actually bidding it starts from 2 rupees and the other person starts from 9 rupees, and then they come and meet together at 5 rupees, right? Where is 2 and 9 in terms of starting a bid? And that is exactly what Prasanna wants to communicate as well, because Barcelona are lowballing this particular offer in such a way that it's almost like a disrespect to Jules Kounde, I believe.
Yeah, and it's like, see, we have done whatever we can do from our end. We have placed a bid. We have agreed terms with. I think we have agreed. We have like placed an offer that is, say that which what Sevilla want. Sevilla wants like around 55 million. We have placed 55 million pounds, not euros, because there's kind of a difference here. So when Barca say they bid 45 million euros, 45 million euros comes out to around 38 million pounds. So that's not even 40 million pounds, let alone 55 million pounds. So that is what, and to see if Sevilla accept Barca's bid, then that's going to be very strange, because of course personal terms, I mean, it depends. See, some players sometimes they might want a higher wage, or they might even take a wage cut to play for their favorite club. We have seen many players do that. Take cuts in wages to play for their favorite club. But Prince says, bro, we have done. We are just waiting for Sevilla to confirm. We have done, and we are like, this is what we have done. Please confirm to us as soon as possible.
Yeah.
We can't do anything more, to be honest. And Barca are kind of like dilly-dallying the situation, and there are some things you want to keep going on. There are some things you just want to end, and for the moment we all want this to end, whether it's Chelsea or Barca, so be it. Just end this saga as soon as possible.
Absolutely. And Pradeep also makes a good point here. He says, personally, I want Chelsea to trigger the release clause to show our monetary strength.
How much is it?
Just to show ambition. I think it's close to 65 million.
Okay.
I mean, it will actually help you in showing the monetary strength, but Chelsea, trust me on this, if Chelsea was run still by the Roman Empire, we would have done that.
Yeah, easy.
This is more of Todd Bowley, who looks at Chelsea not from just the winning perspective, but also on a business terminology, because he's also answerable to a lot of people here. I mean, the decisions, like I've told this before as well, the Chelsea decision making is going to be a slow progress and not going to be as aggressive as what we had in the Roman era, because he was just the one person authority, and all the decisions were made or consulted with Roman, and it was just one person who was at the top of the ownership table. But then now it's 3 or 4 parties who are involved in that consortium, and everyone should be in agreement for everything that these guys are doing. Though the controlling owner is still Todd Bowley, there is a lot in terms of decision making that has to be consulted with his partners, and it's not going to be as easy as paying a release clause just to show our monetary strength. If that is not in agreement with what the other club stakeholders accept, then it's going to be a bit of a trouble. I'm not sure if Todd Bowley would be willing to do that if it is not for someone like Cristiano Ronaldo. Again, it's something that he will be answerable to.
Yeah, it's because he's currently doing even the negotiating deals job. He's doing everything now, albeit it's on a temporary basis. I think he still has some like hiding through in terms of those positions now that Marina, even Czech have gone. So for now, he's doing every one of the everything all in one by himself. So, and he's trying to, like, say, incorporate what he did with the Dodgers. So in Dodgers, like, one of my closest friends, he follows NBA, he follows MLB a lot, and I think, like, he followed even from when Dodgers took over when Todd Bowley took over Dodgers. I mean, he said he like kind of transformed them. Even though he splashed the cash, his aim there was to win.
Mm.
And I feel that, and I asked him, like again, when Vadivel says, "Inna Abramovich var adikide," which is basically translate to what this is smelling like Abramovich exactly.
Yeah,
So it's like, but I don't know whether he'll throw money when, because let's be honest, when Abramovich came in, there was no FFP, so he could literally pick and choose.
correct.
Like, I'll pay 50 million, get this player, 30 million, I'll get this player. But now with all these, I'm not sure if you can just splash the cash just like that.
And I think that's the problem with Newcastle United as well. If FFP was not there, Newcastle would have got
Mbappe,
close to
Holland,
10 to 12 players. Yeah, I mean, they
yeah,
wouldn't have had
easily,
a problem. Right now, Newcastle is one of the most quietest club in this particular window because they spend so much in that winter transfer window that
yeah.
they can probably balance their book only in the next winter transfer window. And I think that's probably the reason why they're not being that active in this particular transfer market. But slowly, I mean, I don't want to even digress to this topic, but I actually wanted to let people know here we've been I mean, this particular stream is being watched by close to 62 people right now, but then we are just
Ah,
11 likes into the channel, guys. So please
yes.
press that like button. I hope you guys like what we're talking right now. It's definitely a topic of discussion at this point in time. 24 hours, last 24 hours was like almost sleepless for a lot of Chelsea YouTubers and
And next
sports
24 hours
journalists.
will be even more crazy. I can tell you that.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm not sure how ready we are going to be for a watch along with us not even knowing what is going to happen with this particular deal. But nevertheless, we'll still be doing that watch along in Sportswire. Please ensure that you tune in for that as well. But slowly moving on to another topic that I wanted to ask you, which is more on Kounde, but then also other Chelsea transfer targets as well. My question to you is, right now, the Kounde situation is something that might take another couple of days from the looks of it. Is it worth for Chelsea to wait around for this Kounde deal to get completed, or should we already be putting in a bid for another person? Because the reason why I ask you this question is Thomas Tuchel has already informed in the press conference yesterday that he's also looking for a minimum of one centre back. Yeah, his exact words were minimum of one centre back. So he is not going to be concerned if we get two centre backs, right? Worst case
Of
scenario.
course.
So why not we submit another bid for an alternative here? Yeah, at the same time we have Kunde as well in our books. So if at all Kunde gets signed and then we find another alternative and we still had to agree terms to them and still get the player over the line, we still can do that, right? Instead of waiting for Jules Kounde, which might end up in a flop, and then we would be left with another alternative being looked at very quickly and then submitting a bid from then on, which would be a problematic situation because we just have 2 more weeks for the Premier League to
Yeah.
start. Though the transfer window still can run on for the next 4 or 5 weeks, we will be finding it very hard to integrate the incoming player into the squad. What are your thoughts on that?
I think we are already. It's just that we're working towards it because we already heard from the start that we were looking at all three: Kimpembe, Ake, and Kounde.
Yeah.
Kounde, this thing is happening. Ake is out of the window, so the other option is Presnel Kimpembe from PSG. So he is our target. I think we are working towards a fee with him, agreeing with PSG and whatnot. And then, and Wesley Fofana, he's not a bad option as well. But 80 million euros, which is roughly around like what, 70 million pounds, sort of something like that. I think maybe. I think a Google search can help. Huh?
68 million pounds.
Okay, 68 million pounds. Okay, got it's nearly 70. So, whew, I think they may wait 1 or 2 days max. If that deal doesn't work out, then I think we shouldn't waste even more time, because I think we have done whatever we can and we have to wait for some time. We should not just, okay, I put this, you haven't accepted, so I'll go for another. Then it only makes the choice easier to send him to Barcelona for a lower fee. That's the more
Yeah.
that's the more easier way for them. If we back out in the situation, then it's easy for Sevilla to say, okay, for Barca paying even less for this player, Barca paying even less for this player, and he wants out anyway, so we'll just give it to them. That is what I feel anyway. But I think Kimpembe will be a target. Wesley Fofana, yes, but are we looking into him? I am not exactly sure, because we are currently focused on Kounde and Kimpembe for this moment in time.
But tell me one thing, PB. See, Wesley Fofana is a very good option that Bobby is bringing about here. The reason why I say that is, again, maybe Prem proven is a bit overrated at times, but here you might have to consider the fact that Kounde has not even played a single Premier League game in his lifetime, and also the fact that he is not physically as built as what you would want from your centre backs in Premier League, more focused. So is it still not a? I mean, I think it's still not a bad option to look at Wesley Fofana, given that 68 million euros is what we probably looking at this point in. I mean, pounds is what we're looking at this point in time. That's the reason why I think maybe another bid for Wesley would not be that much of a problematic situation. Maybe Kimpembe is also another player of interest, but I'm pretty sure at this point in time Kimpembe doesn't want to come out of France, and I respect that, because
Yeah.
players who are playing in other leagues also have their family settled in those leagues, and maybe it takes a bit more time for them to come to a decision to move to a foreign country and play for this particular nationality. Though it's all just next to each other, it's still a difficult decision for them to move the entire family to another nation, and then get themselves accustomed to that particular country. So I understand Kimpembe's situation at this point in time. I respect his opinion that he wants to still continue with PSG. But with Wesley Fofana, you're also kind of mediating that as well. You probably you don't have that particular problem with Wesley Fofana, since he has been playing in the Premier League for quite some time now.
Yeah, but saying that, last season he got a broken leg, and he only came towards the late end of the season. I think when he came back in March playing, I think it was the Conference League game. So he might be still nursing from that, because injury is one thing, but coming back from broken leg is a totally different thing altogether. And I rate him highly. Of course, the season before he did play a more like nearly 30 games, and he was instrumental in them finishing fifth. I think that's why they missed last season. They were so inconsistent. I mean, like last season, that was not Leicester of what we know from 2 3 seasons back. I think we can all agree on that.
Agreed.
Definitely. So,
Probably they were missing the drink water factor.
but yeah, they're missing him for the last 4 seasons, and they still won an FA Cup. So what does that say?
Says a lot about Chelsea to lose that final.
Exactly. But still, I would go for him if that's the case. If Kimpembe doesn't want to come out of France, we respect that. In that case, then go for Wesley Fofana.
Hmm.
That's how I see it, though. And it's not only that, we still have to go for like a couple three more players. Is Will we go for another striker? What will happen to Batshuayi? Will Timo Werner stay? Because we are hearing reports that Tuchel is not happy with Werner, and it's like so random here and there. Will Havertz continue to be our false nine? And I think we will go for another striker, because I think midfield wise, I think we're okay. Given that we already have Kante, Jorginho, now that Conor Gallagher is back. But will we keep Armando Broja, or will we sell him off to West Ham? Because Chelsea don't want a loan for Broja. They want, so either we keep him or we sell him for 30 million or whatever West Ham quoted in that matter. So that's also another thing. But yeah,
Now, I'm still going to say that we need one more midfielder at this given point in time. You know, not to disrespect our academy players who've been brought into the ranks right now in the preseason. I think for us to go for or challenge for a league position, I'm not sure if the likes of Ethan Ampadu and Conor Gallagher are going to do the trick, along with our um, good midfield overload of N'Golo Kante, and
Plus, Kante's legs are they
Kovacic
look
and
like they're done, to
Jorginho.
be honest. I mean, he isn't like the
Exactly.
consistent player he used to be, and Jorginho is like hit and miss. I think the more consistent of all three of them, at least for last 2 seasons, it has been Kovacic.
Hmm. This is another shout from Varna.
Yeah, Guardiola. Yeah.
This is
Cucurella, I don't
Cucurella.
think so because I think his mind is set on Man City. So I don't think.
Exactly. That's what I was getting at. Man
Yeah,
City are, in the race and probably are already in a very good position to get Cucurella. And he also openly commented saying that if at all he wants to leave Brighton, it would be only for Manchester City. So I'm not
exactly.
really sure if he would be interested in Chelsea, though we still can put up a good fight because, it's not that much of a difference between Manchester City and, Chelsea at this given point in time in the league position at least. Cucurella can play left centre back, wing back, and
Yeah,
perfect for us. He definitely would be perfect for us and can be a very good backup. I wouldn't even go so far saying that he would be a backup for Chilwell, but then there will be a good competition between Chilwell and
yeah,
Cucurella.
exactly.
It would be a good
We
option,
can
but
even put the term rotation, if so
yeah,
to say. I mean, because
given
backup
that we
necessarily means that you'll only be playing if that guy is injured. But when you say
exactly
rotation and competition, you mean like if you drop a stinker one game, the next game that guy is playing.
correct. Warner does make a good point here. If at all we bid 40 million for Brighton, and if that is higher than that of what Manchester City, are ready to pay for him, wouldn't Brighton go for the higher bid? Given that
No, but
they
City
are,
can go and City can also come back and say I'll pay 45 million. I mean they
yeah,
can do because
yeah,
they made hell a lot of profit in this transfer window. They can actually go all out for him.
agreed, agreed. There's nothing stopping them from going all out for
Exactly.
Cucurella. That does make sense. If we don't get Kounde, we will not move for Fofana. We are looking at Guardiola.
Yeah, Guardiola. Yeah, that's the other name we were hearing.
Yeah. What do you think about Guardiola? To be honest with you, I'm not so keen on this player.
I haven't seen him much, so really can't comment. But ready to give a clean slate to anyone who joins us, and just hope that we let's hope that he clicks with us. That's my standard reply for players that I haven't seen or I don't know.
Mm,
I'll be honest, I didn't know of this player till very little while ago. So if we're
yeah.
linked him, then there must be some reason. Ready to give him a clean slate, and then we'll start from scratch again.
Agreed. Guys, we are still low on the likes aspect of things. We've got 45 people right now watching the stream. Please press that like button if you're hearing what you're, if you're liking what you're hearing. But this is from Daniel Crane. He says, according to 90 Minutes Football, Chelsea and Sevilla believe Jules Kounde's transfer will go through despite rumors of a Barcelona hijack plot. Again, for people who do not know what is 90-minute football, this is almost like a group of people who are more focused on the top six
Yeah,
clubs, and
they
they're
do
actually
match day
fans
vlogs
rather.
and stuff as well.
Right, they're more of fans. They're not journalists per se,
Yeah.
but then they're probably saying that this particular deal will go through in spite of Barcelona's plot,
No, all
which
the
which
saying
we wish
that, I
to hear.
mean, you never know. I mean, AFTV, they were recently even like they started off as fans, but now they got themselves so much. But now they're in like a press conference asking questions to Mikel Arteta. So you never know. They could be journalists. They could be like sort of say mouthpieces, slow like small mouthpieces here and there, where you might hear from an official source. Because I mean, if you can get contacts with a player, getting contacts with journalists is not a big deal at all.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
you might hear something, you might just want to keep in like give a hint or something, but you don't want to just let it out completely, if that's what makes sense.
Agreed. It does. It does. And Varna also says Guardiola is like 70 to 80 million.
Wow.
If it's going to be
For a
70 to
20
80
year
million,
old,
I'm not sure if it's worth it.
seriously. If for I would 50 million, I would be like, okay, maybe. I would say 30, 35, 40 million because he's still not proven. Like, is he proven? Like,
He's
given
not
that
prem
he's only
proven,
20.
definitely.
Huh?
He's not prem proven, definitely.
I mean, not. I mean, as is he a proven centre back or a defender in this position in his team where he's playing? Is
Wouldn't
what.
say wouldn't say so much to the other
Oh yeah,
options that
he's
we are looking
Leipzig.
at
Yeah, yeah.
currently.
But still, I mean, if we were doing 40 million, I would be like, okay, well, 40 million makes sense. But 70, 80 million, no thanks.
Remember, Leipzig already provided us a player, top talent from our RB Leipzig.
Yeah,
Don't
wonderful
know where
talent
we
for
have to
50
sell him.
million.
We don't know right now where we have to sell him because there's no
Exactly.
suitors and he's on 272K a week. Not an
Ah,
easy deal to be sold. It's very
jeez.
difficult.
He's gonna have to take a pay cut if he moves, though. I mean, because which other club is gonna pay 300
Yeah,
for him?
my To be honest, my only hope is that Timo Werner understands this is a World Cup year and he wants playing time. And if Thomas Tuchel is not ready to give it, he probably has to move out. And if he has to move out, and if he's on this higher wages, it would be difficult for us to even offload him. Which also begs the question: he might have to take that pay cut. Maybe this is the flow of thoughts that runs in Timo Werner's mind. If at
Yeah,
all this is what is running in his mind, I'm fine with it. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult for us to
exactly.
offload this particular player.
Yeah.
Guys, slowly digressing from this transfer topics because next 24 hours is going to be very important on this Kounde topic. Tomorrow at the same time we'll do another stream. Maybe tomorrow, tomorrow my time. Of course, we'll be having a Chelsea Arsenal watch along, in which we might get to know more on this particular Kounde saga. But then right now, let's quickly jump on to this particular 11 of Chelsea that we are looking forward to be seen in this preseason friendly against Arsenal in the
Okay.
US. It's the London rivalry in the US. All right, I'm gonna move this here, and yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Okay, this is what we have here. It's a 3-4-3 as usual. Guys, please join us in the comment section as well in letting us know who you guys would want to see in each of these positions. We'll, of course, start with the goalkeeper and slowly move from there forward. And let's do two lineups here because I'd like to say I'm pretty sure we're going to be deploying two lineups here for each 45 minutes because that is what Thomas Tuchel would be preferring 45 minutes for each time. But what is the set lineup that you would want to? Like maybe Thiago Silva and Koulibaly is what you're looking to be a set lineup for the first half, and the second half you'd want someone like Levi Colwill and another centre back as well.
Private
Um, you
Chalobah,
know,
etc.
yeah, Trevor Chalobah. So let us know what is the line, 11 that you would like to see in this particular game, and maybe also let us know if this is the lineup that you'd like to see in your first game against Everton as well. Again, guys, before the Everton game, we're going to get in Lawrence Vescoli, who's agreed to speak with us on August 4th. We will be having the pre-match review. Why is it review? It's a preview
Preview,
for
yeah.
yeah, it's a preview for the Everton versus Chelsea game. Lawrence will be doing that live with us at Sportswire. Stay tuned to the channel. A lot more guests to come. We've got Lewis, Caffrey Lewis as well, who will be talking to us in some time on the stream
Well, now
as a
that his
special
favorite
guest.
player is gone, would he still be willing to come on?
He's still doing a stream. I think he's parallelly
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
a
I know,
stream
I
right
know,
now.
but still.
Yeah, but he definitely is missing Christensen.
So is so last game who was in the was it Kepa or Werner? Because one of them was injured. Both of them didn't travel, and I'm not sure who like was injured and he had to be left out.
I I think it was Kepa. I could be wrong.
Just probably just check once maybe. That could make sense.
Okay, guys, let us know on the comment section as well who is the goalkeeper that you'd like to see for the first half. Yeah, this Arsenal team again, guys, it's going to be a bit tricky. It's not going to be the the usual Arsenal that we slam dunk. This Arsenal is different, though it is Arteta. This particular season, they've made a huge difference in terms of their signings. This is a coach that's been with the club for the last 3 years, and he's starting the fourth season. So a bit used to his players, Martinelli, Saka, and
Jesus,
yeah, Gabriel Jesus, another striker from Manchester
Ketia.
City, doing very good in the preseason. Ketia as well, who's actually been doing good in the preseason. Apparently, Ketia and Gabriel Jesus are the couple of players who've been doing excellent in the preseason.
Yeah, they
Quite
link up
expect
well. They link up well.
Yeah, they do. They do. So it's going to be a bit tricky, guys. From their left back and right backs, Tomiyasu, and this the centre backs is the place that we can probably exploit them better. Ben White is not the bestest of your centre backs in the Premier League. Those are the areas that is a bit
Yeah,
weaker. But then
William
they,
Saliba looks solid. I think
yeah,
he's been great.
Saliba is good.
But the other two, we I mean, Gabriel is also good. But if that's Rob Holding or Ben White or even Pablo Mari, I think we can exploit that side.
Yeah, Pablo Mari, we saw how he was exploited during that Lukaku game, the first game,
Yeah,
Arsenal, where we won 2
not
nil
even
against
Lukaku.
them.
Even this
He
like
almost
preseason friendly
manhandled.
against Nuremberg and Orlando City, I think whichever game he played. But considering Kepa, if Kepa is travel with the squad, I would play him. If he's traveling with the squad, probably maybe Kepa one half, Mendy the other half is what I would go. Is what I would think.
Thomas Partey apparently will not be featuring in this game, according to Mikel Arteta, due to
Oh,
an
okay.
injury for him. Um, so, yeah, it's going to be interesting. But Chelsea injury news. Why do I have Arsenal news for me and not Chelsea news? Oh my God. Been looking at Arsenal more than. Um, but yeah, let's consider maybe Kepa will play this game, right? We'll start him in the goal.
Yeah,
Would you agree to
let's
that?
start Kepa. Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
I wouldn't
This is
mind.
Kepa in the goal.
Yeah.
We'll move to the left center back position. First of all, we're going with the 3-4-3, right?
Yes. This is the
All right.
usual set which we always do with.
All right. Daniel Crane says that Kepa will play both the halves 100%. All
Maybe.
right. All
Yeah.
right.
Wouldn't be against it.
He also says that we will start the game with the same lineup from the Charlotte game and bring on Koulibaly and Sterling in the second 45. Okay,
Maybe, but I
I
would
hear that.
start Koulibaly because like we want to give him enough minutes before because they're only like 2 weeks before the Premier League starts, and after this we play Udinese on the 29th, I think, and
Yeah,
after that it's just the Premier League game. So I would want Koulibaly to start, get the minutes in, and my back three would be um, Thiago Silva
we
obviously in the center,
we
Koulibaly
played
on the left.
Emerson.
Yeah,
We played Emerson in the first game. I mean the
yeah, we
Charlotte
play.
game.
Yeah,
So would we still go for? You're saying Koulibaly here, is it?
yeah, I'll probably say start Koulibaly or me even in the second half, but I would start Koulibaly and play him because we need him to be like
Okay,
match fit for the Premier League. Given that there's only 2 weeks left, so um,
understood.
I'm contemplating Trevor Chalaba or Aspilicueta. Like who do I start with?
Aspilicueta is someone that Tuchel obviously is preferring to play game in and game out because
Yeah,
Tuchel is someone who likes to have his captain around in the game.
yeah. I mean, we even saw
Aspilicueta
he's
being
not willing to sell Aspilicueta.
exactly. If at all he's available, he wants to start him. So I
Yeah,
wouldn't be surprised
exactly.
if we
So
start the
I
game
would
with
say
him.
Aspi, and then we can bring on Trevor Chalaba for the second half.
All right. CFC Tom says Chalaba we start. Yeah. I mean, so guys, Chalaba versus Aspilicueta. Please let us know on the comment section who would you like to see here at the right center back position. I'm going to leave the right center back position at this point in time because
Okay.
we've had multiple options, Chalaba and Aspilicueta. Let's a bit speculate on that on the comment section. After which we can kind of start filling that particular information. Moving on to your wing backs.
There is
Um,
only one option.
not
Goes
really an
without
option.
saying.
He's
I'm
a
flattered to be
regular.
seen by Hudson-Odoi. I mean, that guy's been given so many chances. He was available so many times on the right hand side against Charlotte. How many times can you fail to put a cross and I mean even like they, he was caught even caught offside twice or thrice when he was open in space. I mean, how are you caught offside when when you have that much space and you can't even time your run given that you're quick?
Takes a special talent to be offside at those positions.
Exactly. So yeah,
Guys, we are
that might be true, but he didn't play the Arsenal game, so it does. But there's only 2 weeks to go for the season, and you need them match fit. You can't just throw him in the game against Everton, saying, "Okay, here you go, play 90 minutes." I don't think that will make sense.
Yeah.
He might play 45. I could see that,
Hmm.
but I want to see him play this game. And maybe in the first half or second half, but I would start him and give it a full go. At least 45 minutes or even 60 minutes, so to say.
All right, all right. We're
Yeah,
hearing some other options as well on the defensive front. Let's complete the wing back and probably analyze the comment section as well,
yeah,
because
yeah.
some good wing backs as well, and good center backs as well thrown on the comment section. Please go on commenting, guys. And we are very short on the like aspect of things. We've got 38 people watching us live, but then on the like aspect, we have not even reached 20. So please press
You
that
man are
like button.
slacking.
Yeah, guys, come on. Let's get that running a lot more. Hope you like what you're hearing right now, and we'll continue to stream tomorrow morning as well for the Arsenal versus Chelsea as a watch along, which will be me and Prasanna Balakrishnan, of course. Talking on the match live, um, the game. So this is left center back. I mean, left wing back, Ben Chilwell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just 2 weeks. We might as well start at full 11 now and try to give them as many minutes as possible.
Tell me one thing, while we are on this Chilwell topic, do you think Chilwell has become completely fit from the looks of it, like the first two games?
To an extent, yes. And we saw glimpses of his pace in the last game. He's not fully fit, say. So I would think probably start here, maybe 45 minutes, and then the second half we can get in Alonso, which is what I think Tuchel would do. Or even if he does the opposite, start with Alonso and bring in Silwell for the next 45. I would be cool with that.
All right. Wouldn't be a bad thing, but let me. Okay, that's on Chilwell, but this is the defense that we have right now.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
saying that Koulibaly, Silva, Chalaba, or Espilicueta, Reece James on the right wing back, and Chilwell on the left wing back. Now, from the comments that I'm seeing, we've got Chalaba one vote and Aspilicueta one vote. So
Right.
your vote here would be the tiebreaker, Prasanna.
Uh Aspi starts the first half and Chalaba comes on the second half.
Okay, so I'm going to start with Aspi here,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
while we do another lineup, let's do the Aspilicueta one.
Yeah, of course.
This is Aspi for the first half. Now, another comment from CFC Tom says maybe Colwell as well in left center back because that is his preferred position, and started center back against Charlotte, and we bring him on for Koulibaly. Bring on Koulibaly the second half maybe, just to make sure that we ease him
Yeah,
in instead of
I
rushing
told
him
the
in.
opposite. Koulibaly starts and maybe Colville or even Saad could come in for last 30 minutes, give them a run. Because you need all your players fit. And
And
Koulibaly is the one who hasn't started as of yet.
correct. And also, given that we're playing against Arsenal Football Club, who are
Yeah.
very high on energy and attacking patterns, of course, this is a team that was
Yeah, and we
coached by
actually travel
Pep's
from
assistant.
Charlotte. I mean, not a big thing, but we travel from Charlotte to Orlando and they are still playing in Orlando.
Yeah, that's right. They don't
They
have the
played Orlando
travel
just
side of
3 days
things.
back against the home team, Orlando City.
Yeah, and they won that as well, right?
Yeah,
2-1, I
they
believe.
won. Yeah, yeah, they did. Martinelli scored, Saka scored, and I think it was Jesus or Akentia. I'm not sure who was the third one, but they won it 3-1, I think.
3-1. Huh? Okay. Yeah, so they are on definitely a winning run here. But again, slowly moving back to Chelsea though, because that's the lineup that we're trying to formulate here. Maybe so the reason why I would probably prefer Koulibaly in the first half instead of having Colville start this game is because I'm a bit worried about the attacking patterns that will be formulated by Arsenal because he is someone. The coach, Mikel Arteta, is someone who's very good in terms of the attacking patterns because he's learned that from
Yeah,
Guardiola. You can see a lot of attacking patterns that's been developed by Arteta, which is similar to that of Pep's formation and the gameplay. So that's the reason why I would want an experience to start off the first half where the Arsenal players will be coming into the game with a lot of energy. So if we are able to manage the first half with a clean sheet, then I believe then Colwell can just come in, ease into the game with the
yeah,
Arsenal player not being, completely on the top of their game, and the patterns also being a bit more exploited by Thomas Tuchel, giving him a bit of time to understand what is going on in the pitch in terms of the patterns.
exactly.
Hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it
Um,
does.
all right, so we'll start with Koulibaly in this case. So that's the defense done now.
Yeah,
Right now, we've got a double pivot that we'll probably play, and we've got options in Kovacic, Jorginho, Conor Gallagher, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and N'Golo
Kante.
Kante.
Uh, I would start with Gallagher.
All
I
right.
would start him because he started the other game against Club America and he looked very good against Club America. He looked like he was controlling the tempo of midfield, although it's totally another team, but he looked himself in that possession, if that makes sense. And
Yep.
I would start him, probably bring on the likes of Kovacic in the second half. I think I would start Gallagher and Jorginho. I think Gallagher and Jorginho, and then bring on Kante and Kovacic for the second half. Even you can put in even Loftus Cheek. You can start like you can bring in for the second half there. That's what I think.
All right. So you're saying Gallagher and
And
Jorginho.
Jorginho, yeah,
Um. All right. Now tell me one thing: who sits deep, and then who's the one who's progressing here?
Gallagher can do both though. He can do both. So so I would say maybe Jorginho stay back a bit, and then Gallagher can go forward because even if Jorginho kind of slips up, say per se, Gallagher can come back and do the defensive work as well. So
Yep.
that's
Yep.
one thing we that's one thing I'm
We
thankful to
missed that
Chelsea
last
for
season.
sending him on loan for different clubs, because there when you start week in week out, you know that you're fighting a place not only in their team but to get in Chelsea's books as well, and you have to fight on multiple fronts.
You're kidding, definitely. Come on,
Hey, no, don't
Vidal,
say
come
Ross
on.
Barkley. Say preseason Zidane. Preseason
Preseason
Zidane.
Zidane. All right. We're calling him preseason Zidane now. So, would you want to see preseason Zidane in our starting lineup? Of course, playing as the
I mean,
number
maybe
nine.
because he didn't start. He didn't start. He didn't play the Charlotte game. He played the Club America game.
He
Um,
looked good. He looked decent.
yeah, yeah, but that's preseason Zidane. That's where he looks good. So, but no, not really, not really, because
All
he's
right.
not going to be starting week in week out for the Premier League, and there's only 2 weeks. So, I don't think this is the time to experiment. To be honest,
Makes sense.
we
Makes
should
sense.
treat
So,
these two games as like curtain races before the season begins.
yeah, instead of treating them as games where you want to showcase the talent
Yeah,
to the entire world so that he gets picked up by some club on a loan basis.
exactly,
Let's not
exactly.
try and do that. But slowly digressing from the lineup, of course, because this seems to be an interesting theory from Varna. He says, bro, what do you think about this theory? Let's say we don't get Kounde. Would James play right center back, and we get Pavard instead, for right wing back? Plus, Aspilicueta's chase another season as a backup because were we were pissed with Barca. Tell me one thing. Pavard, does he look a good option? I'm a bit concerned about Pavard, not inside the game but more outside the game. I think he's had issues off the pitch, which could be a bit concerning coming into football. London, a lot concerning, will be noticed very on a deeper level when it comes to Chelsea. So not sure how that is going to pan out, but getting Pavard in
I'm
and
sorry to
having
cut you there.
Aspilicueta as a backup.
I have to leave in like 10 minutes, so we'll quickly just finish the lineup and then you can take the other questions. I have to leave in
All
10
right.
minutes, and I'll then see you in the watch along, definitely.
All right, that does make sense. We will return back to this particular question, Varna. But I probably would be the person who will be answering this question. But let's finish off the front three.
Um,
Um,
Sterling starts in player 9.
all right,
Player 10, Mason Mount. Player 10.
sorry.
Um,
Yeah,
right
why
side,
was
sorry,
this,
Mount.
why was I about to put Mason Mount as a striker? Uh,
And Werner or Havertz? Who do I go with? What do you think? Do we start Werner or Havertz? Because those
I
are
think
my
we
two
should.
options. I'm not sure who to start with though.
I think we should still give Havertz a bit of time.
Okay.
It's an important game, and this is the first game that we're
Yeah.
playing against a Premier League opponent. So
Yeah.
giving him the benefit of doubt, Havertz starts for me.
Yeah. So this is our 11.
All right, so guys, this is our lineup that we are predicting for the Arsenal versus Chelsea game to be played at Orlando, US. Kepa starts at the goal, Koulibaly at the left centre back position, Silva centre back, Aspilicueta on the right centre back position, with Reece James on the right wing back and Chilwell on the left wing back. Jorginho playing the double pivot role along with Gallagher, but plays a bit more deeper. But Gallagher tries to contribute more on the attacking front. Mason Mount on that right wing back. Oh, sorry, it's not a wing back. Yeah, right wing position, along with Raheem Sterling on the left wing, with Kai Havertz playing up top as a false nine. Guys,
Yeah,
let us know on the comment section what do you think about this particular lineup. We'll
I
post
missed
this
being
lineup
there.
on
I
Twitter as
actually
well.
thought I would go to this one, but like since it's already summertime, just the flights itself were like too expensive. To and fro itself were like $400 2 months back. So I was like, yeah, I'll try the next one because anyways we have an American owner, so we'll keep doing trips to US. So hopefully next time it works. So
Absolutely. And
yeah, and
Prasanna,
I
just
unfortunately have to leave now. But thank you so much for having me on, and see you on the watch along.
absolutely. Guys, this is Prasanna Balakrishnan. Thank you so much for joining in as well. He will be joining us tomorrow for the Arsenal versus
As I
Chelsea
speak,
watch
I'm
along.
like for just four short of 500 subs.
Yeah, he is four short of 500 subs. He's obviously having a YouTube channel on his own. Please check that out as well. PB Talks is his YouTube channel. You can see, PB Talks. When you just type it, there's no other channel that conflicts with his name, so it's pretty easy to find on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe and make help him reach that 500 count. Will definitely help him grow as well. Tomorrow, he's going to be in with us for the watch along. Please tune into that as well. Thank
Thanks,
you
bro.
so much, PB.
Hey, Papo.
Absolutely, Papo.
Yeah.
Kandipa. All right, now we're trying to select an alternate 11 here, guys. That's what we're trying to do. Let's say 45 minutes we've done one particular 11, and then we Tuchel decides to go for a completely different lineup, a different 11. What would that lineup be? Maybe not as strong as as that of the first 45, but if at all we were to deploy an alternative 11, what would that lineup be? Is something that I wanted to actually take a look at. So I'm going to probably go with Bettinelli here. I know, I know what you're thinking, but let's go with Bettinelli. Again, a 3-4-3 system. Um, let's say we play Bettinelli in the goal. It's not going to be Reece James here, so we do not have a proper wingback alternative. Is what we are, kind of understanding from this. Maybe Kennedy plays here. Yeah, maybe Kennedy plays in that wingback position along with Marcus Alonso on the left wingback position. The left centre back would be Malang Sarr. Um, the centre back would be Colville, and the right centre back would be Chalaba because we had Aspilicueta as part of that lineup. So this will be the back five, right? And moving on to the attack, let's start N'Golo Kante here at least, and then we'll have uh, Mateo Kovacic playing with N'Golo Kante. That would be my preferred double pivot. Let me know on the comment section if you would like to see another alternative, like in this case, maybe Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And then you have the front three, a front three with the exception of Sterling, Mount, and Kai Havertz. Who would we select here? Maybe Pulisic plays here, um, and uh, player 10, Hakim Ziyech, and Timo Werner plays up top. This would be my alternate 11 if at all Thomas Tuchel would want to go for an alternate 11. And a good point has been brought in by Werner. He says, why not try a 4-1-4-1 with Ampudu on the um, pivot? Interesting. I can see that happening. Wouldn't be surprised if that happens. 4-1-4-1 with Alonso dropping deep, forming the back four here. Um, this becomes um, Ampadu. He was, to be fair, to give credits to Ampadu, definitely he did put up a very good show in the first couple of games as well. And then we have another four here. Maybe I kind of want this four to be like this. Yeah. Um, Kovacic, Kante, Pulisic, Ziyech. 4-1-4-1 works better with Ziyech. Any four back four works better with Ziyech, and Timo Werner up top. Um, Yeah. So considering the comments that are in the that was put by you guys as well, this would be our alternate 11 for the next 45. So the first 45 guys, Kepa. Just summarizing quickly, for the first 45 minutes, Kepa starts at the goal. Koulibaly, the left centre back position. Thiago Silva in the centre back position. Aspilicueta on the right centre back position. Reece James right wing back and Chilwell left wing back. Jorginho starts at the bottom of the double pivot. Conor Gallagher a bit more on the attacking front. Mason Mount as the right winger. Sterling as the left winger, with Kai Havertz playing up top as the false nine. The alternate lineup would be Marcus Bettinelli in the goal. Marcus Bettinelli in the goal. Marcus Alonso in the left back position. Malang Sarr in the center, along with Levi Colwell sharing that center back role, and Chalobah playing as the right back. Ethan Ampadu is the center of that 4-1-4-1 um, pivot formation. Kovacic and Kante playing up top along with Pulisic. As the top of that double pivot, Kovacic and Kante. Pulisic plays on that left wing along with Hakim Ziyech on the right wing, trying to link up with Timo Werner as the false nine. This would be our alternate lineup, and this would be Chelsea versus Arsenal lineups for me. Uh, the players to watch out definitely for this particular game from the Chelsea side. I'd watch out more for Pulisic, who played really good in the previous game, along with Kai Havertz, who might come good in this particular game. Sterling and Koulibaly are two other players to watch out for. Not saying that they will, hit the ground running, but wouldn't it be a good feeling for us as Chelsea fans to see Sterling and Koulibaly hitting the ground running? So another couple of players to watch out for in this particular preseason friendly against Arsenal at Orlando. When it comes to the Arsenal team, the players to be watching out for: Nketiah, who's in very good form this particular preseason friendly, along with Gabriel Jesus, who cannot obviously stop scoring at this point in time. Varna also says put Colville, Chalaba, two centre backs, Kennedy right back, Sar or Kennedy or Emerson left back. Yeah, again, these are options that we can work out with. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want to see Alonso in the team. So yeah, I get that. Maybe we have Chalaba here. I think Chalaba plays on the other side usually, right? Um, so this is what you wanted, right? Chalaba here, Colwell here, and then you have um, Kennedy and maybe Emerson here. Yeah, I mean, this is an alternative that we have. Wouldn't be a bad option as well. I mean, both for me, this particular 11 is definitely on the weaker side. So anyone you put in that defensive line or on that front line, it's going to be difficult to win a game against Arsenal at this point in time. Guys, we've got 50 people watching the stream right now live. So please press that like button if you have not yet. It really takes a minute and just not even a minute, it's just a matter of seconds. Just press that like button and really helps the growth for the channel. And I hope you like the content that we are actually producing for you guys. We have not even reached the 20 like mark, guys, so please press that like button. Hopefully we get to do a lot more streams as well like this. But then right now it's time for us to wind up as well, leaving you with my final thoughts on a few topics. First one is obviously on the Jules Kounde situation. We will be closely monitoring the Jules Kounde topic in Twitter. It's definitely a transfer saga for this particular season. Barcelona versus Chelsea. Barcelona sports journalists versus Chelsea sports journalists. Barcelona football fans versus Chelsea football fans. Let's see, who kind of finds the finish line at this given point in time. That is one thing that we would be looking at very closely for the next 24 hours, monitoring the situation, monitoring FC. Oh my God, just getting related to those terms that we call Chelsea. But yeah, that's one thing. And the second thing, obviously, is the Arsenal versus Chelsea team. I'm really hoping whatever is happening on the transfer market should not deter the professionalism and the efficiency of the players on the pitch for Chelsea, both the player and the manager. Hopefully, we get a win against Arsenal, because if Arsenal starts off this particular season with a preseason win against Chelsea, I'm not even sure how I'm going to talk to these Arsenal fans and make them understand that we've won Champions League while they've not even got their hands on Champions League. But it's going to be really difficult for us to, get those guys within within a region. But Varna also says UEFA Lona is pissing me off. Yeah, exactly. And I do have concerns over. The UEFA financial fair play regulations and the way that it is linking up with La Liga. This is definitely a topic for another day. We will definitely talk in detail about that as well. Chelsea for life says Lamrana Chalova. I'm really sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but then one thing that I can definitely agree with you is that Chelsea for life. The same here as well. But also says won't be losing 4-0. I promise you. So you are probably expecting a 3-0 win for Arsenal. Can I kind of assume that, Varna? Please don't do that. Please don't do that here. Come on. Let's get a win tomorrow. Hopefully we see a win, but come back to our channel for the live watch along, guys. Let's try and provide. We will try and provide a very good content while we commentate on the game, of course. It's all good for Chelsea, hoping everything ends up well on this Kounde topic as well. But it's time for us to wind up the stream. Thank you so much for everyone on the chat who stayed throughout the the conversation with Prasanna Balakrishnan, listening to us patiently about the Kounde deal as well, and people who join new and who want to understand what is going on in this Kounde situation. Please go rewatch the starting phase where we completely explained how the timeline in terms of the last 24 hours moved for this Kounde situation. So that I think that would be a good watch for you guys as well to try and understand or come up to speed on where the Kounde situation right now is and how it progressed from where we were in the last in before the previous 24 hours. Having said that, it's time for me as well to log off and probably will um, connect with you guys in the Arsenal versus Chelsea live watch along with Prasanna Balakrishnan. This is VJ signing off for Sportswire. You guys have a wonderful day ahead, whichever place you might